Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today you will learn what is a Revit add-in and everything you need to know about it. This is actually one of my videos from the complete Revit API course that is in the pipeline. Currently, I'm working on that course, and I'm pretty much sure it's going to be a game changer for people who are interested in mastering Revit API. Because not only will it include API lessons, but also a lot of tasks for you plus practical solutions that I developed throughout my plugin development path. So make sure to hit that notification button to know when it's released. Also, I offer people to pre-buy that course, meaning you will get new videos and tasks as I create them. People who get that pre-buy option will get 1 hour conversation with me, and you can ask any kind of questions that you want. You can always reach out to me via email that will be in the description or social media. So that's it for the course intro. Now, if you find the content useful, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to hit that notification button. Plus, definitely leave the comments down below. A Revit add-in. But the first question is, what's an add-in at all? What it is in general? So an add-in is a software that expands the capabilities of bigger programs and does so by using software's API. So to put it simply, we have an application that we work with. In our case, it's Revit. And let's say that by selecting a room in Revit, we want all walls, floors, and ceiling be generated for that particular room. So Revit doesn't have an option, it doesn't have the feature to create room finishes. So in our case, we need to expand the capabilities of Revit and add a new feature to that. So by creating a Revit add-in, we can do this thing. We can expand, we can add new capabilities and features to what Revit has on offer by default. And we have two main types of Revit add-ins. The first one is the command type, and the second one is the application type. Let's check out this screenshot. So here we have an example of a command type add-in. So the command, the add-in of the command type, it doesn't create new tab. It doesn't create new tab or new buttons. So basically, we're not interacting with Revit user interface. We simply have a default location for all these features of all the new features that we want to add. And that default location is under Add-ins tab, and here we have a button, External Tools, and by clicking on it, you have this drop-down list that contains all these features that we added. I'm sure you've come across this. So, and the next type is the application type. And as an example, I took the Rhino Insight plugin. So, as you can see here, that plugin, and actually these words, plugin and add-in, they can be used interchangeably. They're basically the same, to be honest, in this particular context. So here, that Rhino Insight add-in, it has its own dedicated tab, right? So it's called Rhino Inside, and it has all the buttons. And each button is the new functionality that we added. So to sum it up, we have two main types, command type and application type. Command type, use command type when you don't worry about all of these UI stuff, when you don't worry about creating buttons and tabs. You just worry about the business logic. You want to you want to have that feature, that capability, and make it work. With, but when you do worry about UI interaction with Revit. When you do want to have buttons, your own dedicated tab, make sure to use this type of add-in. And now the main question is, but what do you need to have to make your add-in work? What parts are required for that to work? So there are two things. So the first one is a DLL file. That is our output file. Think of this as for example, if you're writing your code in C# and now your code is good to go, now everything is done. So you're basically compiling your code, and that is what a DLL file. So that is a compiled code file. So you're compiling that code and you will have a DLL file. So think of this as your code file. And actually, a compiled code, a, compi a compiler, that is a translator that generates machine code from source code. And also, but like the next question is, okay, we have our output file, right? So we have that code file, but how does Revit know about that file? And even more, how does Revit know what code to run in that particular file? Because your DLL file, your code file, can contain a lot of different functionalities, a lot of different new features. For example, your file can contain a functionality for creating floor finishes or just finishes for the room. Your file can contain the functionality of, I don't know, maybe connecting pipes, working with Excel, and all of these features, right? It may contain a lot of different functionalities. So we need to tell Revit two things. Where our file, what is the location of our file, and what code we want to run from that file. And that responsibility is held in the add-in file. That is actually the responsibility of that file. So that file, using that file, we tell Revit where to look for that DLL file, and that is our code file, and what code to run, what code to execute. And that is an example of that file. As you can see here, we specify what is the type of our add-in, and in our example, that is the command type. And as I said previously, that's the type where we don't worry about the UI stuff with Revit. We simply worry about the business logic. We just want this to work, and we don't care about buttons and all of these things. Then we tell where does Revit should look for that particular file, for that code file. And in our scenario, that is the location for that DLL file. Now Revit knows about your code file, but now we need to tell Revit, what code to run when user clicks on that command. And this is what that portion with the full class name is responsible for. So here we're telling what code should run when we click on the button, right? So these are two main features here. But now also a quite important question is, but where do we put that file? So Revit would go inside that file and analyze it. So it would go, okay, I have that DLL file. I know what code to run. And there are two possible locations for that add-in file. The first one, I would say that use this one when you're building plugins for all users. So that'll be accessible to all users. And the second one is for your personal add-ins. I would go with this location where when I build plugins for my personal usage. Uh, Now, you shouldn't be worried about all of these features that we have here. I talked about two main features, is the where is the output file located, and what code to run. Of course, we have more features such as the unique identifier for this. We'll go through this later on. So to sum it up, we have an add-in. An add-in is that software that extends the capabilities of an existing program. In our case, it's Revit, and we want to add new features to Revit. And for this to work, we need to have two things. The first one is the DLL file, and that is your code file. So you wrote your code in C Sharp, for example, and you have the DLL file. Now you need to tell Revit, check out this file. We need to tell Revit to check out this file and to run some specific code from that file. And the responsibility for that is held in the addin file. And also, to make Revit go inside that addin file, we need to make sure to put these in either of these locations. That's it for this lesson. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, hit the notification button, and leave some comments down below. Thank you for watching and have a beautiful day.